baby. In your last game, you did it. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I love you, Mr. G.
Okay, we'll take some questions for Khris. Eric over here.
Congratulations, Khris.
Thanks.
I mean, you know where I'm going. Like, you and Giannis have been together forever. I'm curious. After it was a hug with you, Giannis, and then Bud. What was it like to have Bud kind of join your group, right? Like, you're already 5 years into knowing Giannis. You two are together, and then Bud comes in, and now 3 years later, you guys have gotten there. It feels like you guys have gone through some stuff. You couldn't shoot as much from the mid-range. You had to go to the rim. Like, all those things kind of like along the way. What was that process like?
It was all worth it for sure. I mean, us challenging each other. Him challenging me to be better in a lot of different ways. Me being stubborn in some ways. But the thing I like, he challenged us all. You know, I don't think it's probably politically correct, but we challenged him a little bit in certain ways to help us. But for the main part, he challenged us every day to be leaders, to fight through adversity, to change our games a little bit. Like I said, it's all worth it.
I've told you what people say about you, and you tell me I don't care. I'm just going to do my thing. What do you kind of say to the naysayers that said you weren't good enough and your team wasn't good enough, and now you're here as an NBA champion?
Man, I still don't care about what those other people say. At the end of the day, we knew what we need to do in this locker room and our organization, and you know, it seemed like it took forever, but it's not easy to get to this point, to get to this stage. But we're able to get it. I also want to say shout out to the Phoenix Suns, man. They're a great organization. Monty Williams came in there and talked to us for a quick second. Those guys are great over there. They challenged us. They were great. They knocked us in the mouth the first two games. But I love the way we responded. We didn't give up on ourselves. Our home crowd was amazing. This whole playoff run, this whole season, even when they didn't have us, when we didn't have them at the beginning of the season. But to have them here at this point, man, it's amazing. I hope they enjoyed it just like we are right now.
Vince in the middle.
Hey, Khris, I know you don't like to necessarily reflect on your journey, but second round pick where you didn't play a whole lot your rookie year, then you get traded here. You probably could have came out your freshman year of college, but you stayed. Do you ever think that all these things sort of happen and come together for a reason, for the greater good?
No, for sure. You know, not every path or every player coming out is perfect. You know, it's tough. I mean, not to be in the league is tough. To be 450 players, 500 maybe, G League, all those players. But to stick with it, to have faith and believe in yourself at all times, even though when it's not going your way, to continue to keep working. That's what it's all about. That's what every player in this league does. Even around the world, you keep working, you keep believing in yourself to get to this point.
Steve?
Y'all had that tough second quarter. What was said in the locker room? What was the attitude like at halftime for y'all? Obviously, y'all came back right out in the third, fourth quarter and played a lot better. Just what was kind of said there in halftime?
We got stagnant a little bit. You know, halftime, we saw what we were doing wrong, basically. But in the second half, it was all Giannis. I'm not going to lie. You know, he got the ball, he dominated. He didn't settle. He forced his way to the rim, forced his way to the free throw line. He held us down for a majority of that second half in the game.
Jim in the front.
Khris, what, you know, during this run-up, I mean, Giannis talked a lot about you and what you meant to him. And he mentioned that Toronto series and what you went through, and then how that kind of opened his eyes to you, and you were the guy then for him, you know, to do this with. I'm guess, you know, when did you realize he was the guy for you, I guess? Did you have that kind of turning point like he did? Or
no, I mean, we formed a bond, a brotherhood. Since that first year we've been together, we struggled. We struggled together. But we both saw in each other there was no give up. It was all motivation to be better, not be embarrassed. Year after year, we challenged each other to be better, challenged each other to be better leaders, better teammates. yeah, I mean, yeah.
Sean, next row.
Khris, from the time you guys were down 0-2 to now, what did you learn about yourself and what did you learn about your teammates?
We were down 0-2 against Brooklyn. You know, we came together as a group. Within our film session, we talked it out. We all wanted to be on the same page, realize how we needed to play, what we needed to do. And it was the same thing in the series. We never got down. I mean, we're still playing. We still have a chance. That's the way we felt. No matter if we were down in the game, no matter if we were down in the series, it didn't matter. We knew each time we took the court, we had a chance to win. And we have everybody in the locker room and the organization that believes and, you know, that is never going to give up until it's completely over. That's who you want to play with, guys that are going to fight to the end.
And Khris, also you talked about your relationship with Giannis. Has it been an easy process to play with a player like that, or did it have its challenges?
No, it's easy. When you see a guy that wants to compete, that wants to work, that wants to win, that's all you want as a teammate. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's going to make mistakes. I made my share of mine. I'm sure he's made his share of his, but at the end of the day, we're always trying to win. And like I said, I mean, him, whoever, everybody that came into our locker room, our organization, we want them to work no matter what, if they're playing, if they're not, to continue to try to get better because we knew that's the only way to get to this point is to work to be better as a person and work to be better as a team.
Lori in the front.
This is obviously your championship, but for the city as well, I feel like you have a really unique perspective, you and Giannis, because you were here when things were tough. What does that mean for you? I don't know if you identify as a Milwaukeean at all, or if you still consider yourself South Carolina. And also, you know, I'll always think of you too. You handed Giannis that pen to sign the Supermax. You kind of knew you were building something here and that you needed to do it together. So what does it just mean for the two of you? And then for this city?
For the city, I'm sure it means everything. I mean, they've seen the work that we put out over the years for them to get to this point, to having, you know, literally trying to sell tickets to people to come to the game, cheer us on, to now having it packed out and having, I think, 65,000 people outside the arena tonight. It's an amazing transformation. But it's not just me and Giannis, it's the whole organization. They did a great job of, you know, building things around this city, helping the communities around here. And then getting them to come and cheer us on. That was our motivation for sure. As far as me and Giannis, I forgot the second part of your question.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're fine. Thank you.
Last two on the right and in the back.
In the second quarter, as a team, you took a lot of mid-range jumpers, weren't getting to the rim as much. Was there anything strategically that changed in the second half, or was that just, you know, getting Giannis the ball and he put his head down and got to the rim?
That was just us. You know, we credit Suns' defense. I mean, they were tough. They switched a lot. They blitzed me a lot. And they forced us to tough, you know, isolations or tough jumpers. In the second half, we told ourselves we had to come out and play like we did the first quarter. Play downhill, attack, don't settle. That was being it, just don't settle. And Giannis was a big part of that in that third quarter, just coming out and, you know, pinning his head down and getting to the rim.
Last question in the back.
Hi, Khris. You guys had been, you know, pretty much the best team in the league regular season wise for the last couple of years, close to a 70-win pace before the bubble was necessary last year. And then it seemed like this year you guys came in knowing that you would want to tweak things to just try to get over that hump. And it seemed like there were some rough patches there. I think it was 16 and 13 to start the year. How did kind of going through that and knowing that there were going to be some lumps there at the beginning, did that prepare you guys for, you know, to potentially be behind in series to just kind of overcome certain things to get to where you are now?
You know, as a whole, we used a lot of our failures as experience. We've been in a lot of situations in our past years here. Then at the beginning of the year, it was just we had a new team, a lot of new rotation guys, different guys stepping into the starting lineup. And we knew it was going to be challenging, but, you know, we all said it was going to be worth it to learn, you know, find out how to adjust and figure out what we need to do in the game to win. We knew wasn't always going to be pretty. We knew we were going to we knew we were going to have to win different styles of ball games, but, you know, that's the type of team you want to be, you know, to throw different guys out there, different lineups out there, because you can't win the same way at this level.
Thank you.